Hi, Bob McLeod here. Welcome to my second video in the Goodbye Evernote series. In my first one, I talked about the decision I made yesterday to leave Evernote so that I did not have to pay the substantially increased subscription cost and what that meant to me and the decisions that I had to make in evaluating my options. In this video, I'm talking about a specific option that I made, which was to export one of my notebooks with 600 notes in it to HTML files. And this specific notebook was the one that I've been using to track my household receipts for tax purposes. And I don't need these very often. I don't review them, although I have occasionally looked at them to get for warranty purposes or to remember when I bought something, but very, very rarely. And I'm really only keeping them for archival and tax purposes. And so the export format was not as important to me as for notes that I'm using a lot. The way this works is you select the notebook and it exports as a single folder onto the hard drive. And then within that folder, there's an HTML page for each note individually and a separate folder for the contents of each note. So 600 notes in my folder created 600 HTML pages, 600 additional folders, and many or most of those actually had an attachment, a PDF or a JPEG, if there was one in the note. For emailed receipts that had no note attached, then that was just in the HTML page and the folder itself is blank. I'll show you what this looks like in a second. To export this, I right-clicked on the notebook and selected Export Notebook, and I chose the far right option, which is multiple web pages. This single web page puts the entire notebook on one HTML page, and I can't imagine that would be very useful for a notebook of any size. And then I clicked Export. And what it did, again, is it created a single folder in my downloads, and in that was a separate HTML web page document for every note that contained the contents of the note itself, any text or receipts that came in via email, and then a folder for every note, whether it had attachments or not. And then within that folder was any attachments. Some of my receipts actually have multiple receipts in the single folder. Many had one and many had none. This is an example of one that had no insert at all. It just was an emailed receipt from Lowe's, which I forwarded to Evernote using that wonderful email feature. And so the folder that's associated with it is empty. And that's it. It was really that easy. And what I did is I just put that in my same folder that I had been using many years ago for storing my household receipts, and it's right back where it was. And if I ever need them, they're right there. Thanks for watching.